7 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. I'm running late. I didn't want to leave until I had to pee because I hate being out and about and then being in a situation where I gotta pee. So I ended up having to wait longer to get out of my apartment this morning. I didn't time the pee-pees right. I fucked up. So I'm gonna get caught in even more heat now. It's pretty hot. It's I don't know it's like almost the middle of July. I think it's July 8th or July 9th. And oh fuck, spider webs. I gotta put up the cast the spell of fucking the anti-spider web spell. Roll some fucking 20-sided dice on that, bitch. All right, so again, once on Operation Muffin Top, a continuation of the saga, my obesity saga. I'm up to 11 push-ups. 11. That's better than last week. So hopefully by next week I'll be up to 12. And just keep it moving. I'm getting stupid into the groove. I'm doing a lot more push-ups. I'm getting more tickish. It's becoming more habitual. So, all right. So, what did I want to talk about today? I wanted to go back to what I was talking about in my last recording video, which was my mom and let's see. Yeah, I wanted to talk about some more, I guess, details in the realm of, I want to say sympathizing and empathizing, but I don't really I don't consider myself an empath. Anybody know that phrase? And I'm an empath, meaning I am a empathic person, or I am high on the fucking empath meter. I don't like to play that game. I feel like it's a game. I don't trust it. But I will say that, to me, maybe I should talk about that a little bit. To me, all empathy means to me is when I see a guy get cracked in his nuts or something like that, somebody get hit, somebody fall on the floor, I feel like a wave of like almost like my stomach dropping type of a feeling, and I almost feel like there's a bruise, like I have a bruise on my body, like on my like anybody ever have a bad flu or a really bad cold and you feel sore all over your body? Like when I see somebody get hurt, I get like a brief wave of that I feel throughout my body. I guess maybe my oh shit, I thought I heard something. I did hear something. All right. Not something substantial enough to stop and look at. Just a brief wave of feeling of a bruise on my body, like a cringe, like a tightening in my body. These are the phrases that come to mind. Tightening, cringe, stomach drop, and a feeling of a bruised feeling, and maybe my hair might even stand up on its ends, Like some people have, when you touch people a certain way or with a certain type of fucking material, they're sensitive to the touch of that material, and I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that before, but some people, if you if they touch silk, It makes the hair on their fucking body stand up. They just don't. They have a interesting reaction to a certain kind of texture. And so to me, like that's the most basic, like fundamental, like. And I'm not even saying that makes me a good person, right? Like when I see somebody fall, I'm like, um, I'm not necessarily gonna go run and help them or something, but I'm definitely not gonna. I'll tell you this much: I'm not gonna be after I see somebody get hurt. I'm not really in a position where I'm gonna fucking laugh, you know, like the whole fucking America's Funniest Home Video thing, you know, Bob Saget, R.I.P. I think R.I.P. Right? Didn't Bob Saget die a couple years ago? Or no, maybe he's still going. But no, he did die, right? They got him in a hotel. He found him in a hotel. He wasn't whacking off, I don't think. Maybe he was. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Saget was the type of guy that got caught fucking trying to hang himself and fucking whack off at the same time. Autoerotic asphyxiation is the phrase that I was thinking of on my last recording, I think it was. So, but, and just because I get that sense in me when I see somebody get hurt, like that, oh God, oh my God, please be okay. Like, please don't, oh my God. That hurt, like, it doesn't hurt, right? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get injured by somebody else getting hurt. I don't know, man. It's just like, and it's not something that I could control. It's not something that I can't be empathic. I can't nurture that. It's just a default reaction. It's not, I don't even think that it's beneficial necessarily, you know? I don't know if it's beneficial for me. I don't know if it's beneficial for other people. I sometimes think about how that kind of could get in the way when doing, like, if I ever wanted to fucking, like, if I ever ended up in a situation where I needed to do a surgery on somebody, some emergency surgery, right? That whole fucking feeling pain when someone else is feeling pain thing is not going to work out, right? You kind of have to be detached. You kind of have to just be like, look, man, fucking, I know this is going to fucking suck, but, and then before you even finish the sentence, just pour a whole bottle of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol on their fucking, the huge gash in their leg or something, like, I know this ain't gonna feel good, but hey, look, what's that? And then fucking just pour the whole fucking bottle of alcohol on their fucking open wound. And they're gonna be like, ah! And then I'm gonna be like, ah, fuck! Holy shit, that fucking hurts, I know. It's good and it's bad. I mean, it fucking depends, this empathy thing, whatever we're calling empathy. I don't think it makes me a good person. I don't want to fucking play the games with fucking, I'm a fucking, what is it? Like, the fucking types of personalities. There's the IMDBs and the BDCDs, and I'm an EMTH. I'm a fucking empath, psychic, fucking phenomenon. Like, whatever these letters are, this horoscope shit. I'm not into that. But I will say, fucking, when I see fucking guys punching themselves in the face, it's like, what? You guys are gonna pay me money if I fucking beat this guy's face in? I'm just like, yo, can't do it. Can't watch fucking dudes fucking clobbering each other. But at the same time, I'm not against it. I'm not like, you guys are just brutes. Oh my goodness. Oh, this should be shut down. We need to stop it. I mean, look, man, it's happening for a reason. Shit is bigger than me, I guess, but I don't have to go to fucking watch these fucking dudes punching each other in the face. And I'm not against violence. I'm not like some anti-violent, like, Elizabeth Warren type. Like, oh my God, think of the children. We got cover their eyes, cover their ears. No, I mean, look, it's what goes on. I'm not into it though. It's just not my thing, and there's no reason why it should be. And my thing shouldn't be any. If guys want to go punch each other in the face to get that paper, what the fuck? Why should they do anything like I'm doing? I'm not doing that, and there's no reason why anybody should do what I'm doing. So, all I'm saying is that fucking I don't like to watch it. There's nothing. I don't feel. I don't get it. There's no entertainment out of it. There's no suspense. There's no fucking story. There's no plot. It's just two guys that are fucking chasing a bag of paper, and whatever. I don't know. They probably all have the same story, right? Started at the bottom, now I'm here, right? Except maybe like that one guy, or maybe there's a couple boxers who like come from fucking like boxing heritage, and their family had money and wealth, and for some reason the kid got involved with boxing just like their dad did or something like that. But for the most part, it's like people that are desperate for that paper. And, if somebody had fucking found Mike Tyson when he was like 17, and they were like, yo, here's fucking $475 million, and he's like, what? For what? I didn't even do nothing. I can't do a good Mike Tyson. I didn't even do anything. And they're just like, no, just take this $475 million just for the hell of it, He would never have gotten into boxing, He wouldn't be like, you know what, despite this, he's like going to be sitting there one day on the roof, on the rooftop in Brooklyn, talking to his fucking pigeons. Remember when Mike Tyson had fucking pet pigeons on the rooftops of Brooklyn? I'm not against it. Fuck it, man. That's cool. I'm not against fucking having pets and stuff. But Mike Tyson's talking to the pigeons on the roof. He's like, they gave me this $475 million, but I think I'm going to just go and start learning how to punch people and fight for my life in the ring to get money. Like, there's no way. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I can't make that claim. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have fucking spent the $475 million in like a year and be like, I'm broke. I got to go fight people to make money. But, fuck. Spiderwebs, get out of here. Get off of me. I'm already fucking sweating from my temple. That's not good. So when it comes to like somebody dying, what does it mean for me? As somebody who fucking feels some kind of a bruise, gets some kind of a cringe when I see somebody get hurt. I don't want to see it. It's not a pleasant thing. It's not a pleasant sight. I'm not like, ha. Like, I'm not like, oh, this guy knocked this guy out. He punched him in the face, mad hard, and he got him. Look at him, he got him. Like, I could appreciate, like, fucking Jackie Chan, like, old Jackie Chan shit, where he's like, where it's all, like, performance and shit. That's fucking ill. Like, choreographed fighting. You smoke a fatty boom batty and sit back and watch some fucking old school drunken master and just watch these dudes go at it choreographically. It's like, yo, that shit is ill. But as far as somebody dying goes, like, especially when I don't even, get out of my ear. Ugh. Sorry, a bug just went in my ear. The fuck are these things thinking? What do you think's in there, bro? What the fuck do you think is in there? Get out of here. Holy shit, these bugs are all over the place. Good. Alright, so, fucking distracting me. There's no, like, when somebody dies, and I don't even witness it. Like, if I don't even witness it, it's like there's not going to be any of that cringe dropping of the stomach stuff. It's not. So, like, as far as the empathy thing goes, I don't know. Um, but like, it's a totally different situation when you don't see it and you just hear that it happened. Maybe there's some another one trying to go in my ear, yo. Is that really the spot for you guys? Fuck, these motherfuckers are gonna lay eggs in my ear. Please don't do that. All right, keep the staff up though, because it's fucking spiderweb season. And all right, so sorry everybody, sorry. I know I'm getting distracted. It's hot. There's bugs flying in my ears, and there's spider webs to block. So, what I can say, which I would put this in the category of some sort of a sympathy, some sort of an empathy, in that category, in that realm, is this might kind of just be me going off on a tangent on a couple. Well, this is going to be a bunch of tangents, but here it goes. One, my mother was very much a victim of some sort of circumstance where I guess we're all victims of circumstance, but like, okay, here's the thing. My mother had like a shit ton of brothers and sisters, right? She had like, my grandmother gave birth to 13 children. So, lots of brothers and sisters coming in and out of that family household, or whatever we want to call it. And out of all of the brothers and sisters, my mother is the only one that stayed right on the fucking, right in the neighborhood. Right in the fucking, right in the neighborhood where the family grew up. Right where all the brothers and sisters were raised. So, this one went to Long Island, that one went to New Jersey, that one went to fucking, yo, the same ear, you guys? You can't even go after the other one? Holy shit, bro. I Q-tipped both of them. There's nothing in there. Get out of here. There's no potatoes in my ear for you fuckers to eat. So, I need to get like earplugs, or I need to get something. I bought a fucking hat with a mesh net around it that has like a built-in fucking insect net. But that shit is such a hassle. It's so cumbersome. It's fucking big ass net all draped around my fucking shoulders. Especially when it's hot. Like, the last thing I need is a fucking, I don't know, man. Anyway, so fuck, man. Go back to the topic. My mother was the only kid out of all of her brothers and sisters that did not move, never moved, always stayed at the same apartment. The apartment was her father's apartment before it was hers. And when he died, I guess she was living there. She was I don't know. She's listed as one of his dependents or something. So I guess there was some way where he was able to where she was able to get the apartment get the lease, renew it under her name, but with the same rent stabilized. I think it's rent stabilized. I don't think it's rent controlled. It might be rent controlled. I don't know. I don't know the details of all this stuff. I'm not a fucking welfare expert. But anyway, fucking, hold on, I gotta switch hands. I gotta put this staff in my other hand. There's people coming up. I gotta make sure I don't hit them in the hit their dogs with my staff by accident. Alright, so, victim of circumstance. She's the only one that never moved. And I think she's kind of, a part of me says that she was kind of the one that got sacrificed or something. Like, she was like the, I don't know, just, there's so many other things that line up with this theory of mine. I mean, obviously, no, my mother never told me this. This isn't my mother never said to me, my family sacrificed me and this is how I ended up like I don't even know if she's consciously aware. You know, if you even tried to have a conversation with her, if she would even have known what the fuck it is that I'm talking about. But so I might be more empathetic to her than she is to herself in a lot of ways. And all this stuff really does make me think, you know, if there is a such thing as sympathy or empathy, this is the best I could do. You know, I'm giving it the best I got in my brain, in my imagination. So she ended up going to school to become a nurse. Just so happened to be the only kid left behind. Just so happened to be living in the apartment building right next door to the apartment building my grandmother lived in. She had an apartment in the building next door. And my mother, perfect. Grandma's going to be all by herself. All the kids are out of the house. She needs one of the kids to stay around and fucking become a nurse and be the kid that just sticks around mom and then has a kid. My mother I don't know how much my mother is conscious of this stuff, but my mother had one kid. Perfect. That's all you need. Now you got another subsidy. You got the child support subsidy coming in, and the although I don't think my mother or my father ever did child support. I think they settled. Like I think my father probably ended up fucking giving her more, maybe even, than she would have gotten if she went through the courts. Who knows? I don't know what the deal was, you know. But I know, as far as I know, there was never any fucking like, you know, him having to pay child support. I think it was he just realized fucking, yeah, if she takes me to court, that's gonna fuck with me. I'm just gonna fucking settle, you know. I'm gonna settle. I'm gonna make a deal, and fucking that's it. But then now, okay, my mom's got the apartment on the cheap, right? She's got some sort of rent stabilized situation that she got in like 1980 or something like that, 1979. So I could only imagine. I mean, that apartment probably could get rented out for like, the apartment my mother lived in could have been rented out in current year, for probably like $2,000 to $3,000. Let's just say $2,500 or something like that, which is crazy for a one-bedroom apartment. I mean, it's in a fucking... The neighborhood I grew up in wasn't always as nice and as expensive as it is now. It kind of became, it got, what's the word that they say? Gentrified? I mean, I know every area gets gentrified over time, but I don't even know if there's a such thing as gentrification. All I know is that fucking those brownstones in Park Slope, Brooklyn used to be like fucking $250,000, you know, and now they're like $2.5 million, you know. Fucking all these actors and actresses, writers, authors, all these people started moving to that neighborhood, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they like about it. It's not that great. I mean, I grew up there. I don't even, if I bought a house, I wouldn't even buy a house there. For $2.5 million, I could get the sickest shit ever. So much nicer than a brownstone. Oh my God. Motherfucker, I'll have a gym and a pool. I'll have a fucking, you know, a tennis ball court for $2.5 million. Yo, down here, I actually thought about doing this. I know I'm sidetracking, but, see the water? Nice water. Yay. It's sprinkling. So, I thought about getting the Spencer Mansion from Resident Evil 1 built. I kind of want that. Like, I looked at some blueprints and some plans. I always liked that mansion. I don't know what it is. Like, it's like some kind of like, you know, it's almost like it's like those mansions that were built in the South, but they're almost like Gothic or something. like Gothic Southern mansions, you know? I don't know where that came from. Where that whole renaissance of fucking Gothic mansions in the South came from, but that shit is kind of fire. And I don't think that Spencer Mansion is set in the South. I think it's in the Midwest. Resident Evil 1, Raccoon City might have been. Shit, I'm talking about Raccoon City, but anyway. Yeah, for 2.5 million, you could fucking build a Resident Evil mansion. Fuck a brownstone in Park Slope for 2.5 mil. You guys are out of your fucking mind to live right next to somebody else with a brownstone. Who's right next to somebody else with a brownstone? Who's right next to somebody else? And you go to park? You go to park your car? No parking? What do you know? Everybody's got fucking 10 cars in their $2.5 million house. And they gotta and we're all on top of each other. And it's so expensive and shit is fucking retarded, bro. These people are like pimping themselves, yo. Anyway. You know, one of these neighborhoods where the white people get fucking Jamaican nannies to raise the kid for them, you know? Not that I mean, the Jamaican nannies probably be a better than the mom and dad in most of these cases. I'm not fucking hating on yo, go on. Yo, Testai. Fucking raise those white babies, Jafari granny. Jafari nannies. Get that paper from the fucking white couple and fucking raise their baby, I guess. So, anyway, I grew up in that. Even if you know, it wasn't a particularly nice neighborhood when I was a fucking kid. And I don't mean to be saying fucking it was rough and tough. Like it wasn't like Brownsville. It wasn't like Bed-Stuy, but it definitely wasn't as nice as it is now, or safe as it is now. And so, but what's the point of that? All even saying that? Oh, the point of even saying that is that she was living in a very nice neighborhood, but she had a fucking like a late 1970s subsidy grift. So, okay, and this is all I'm just making the case that my mother, in a way, was kind of either intentionally, I would say intentionally, whether anybody conscious in my family is consciously aware of this or not. Somehow, my mother ended up in an apartment building right next door to my grandmother, happened to become a nurse, right? Get an RN, in a time where my grandmother was on her, you know, last legs. It was, you know, the last 20 or 30 years of my grandmother's life. And yeah, by the time my mom had me, my grandmother was already done having kids. It's time for her to, you know, settle down. She needs a kid to hang around for her, to keep her company and stuff. And then you just need a baby. Just go have a baby with a guy. Keep him. No intentions of fucking being married to the guy or living with the guy or just, that's for, I was for nanny. In a way, I was both my grandmother's pet toy thing and my grandmother's pet toy thing. I mean, I don't want to fucking be like they treated me like fucking, I'm not trying to say like, they like threw bones and expected me to go chase after them and stuff like that. Although that's kind of what school is in a way. But, you know, just create some fucking problem that doesn't need to get solved. And fucking send me to go fucking work on these problems that aren't even... Alright, I don't want to fucking get into school. But anyway. So I think in the realm of empathy and sympathy, I think I have that going. As far as my perception of my mother is, you kind of got fucking screwed. And, you know, I could talk about, you know, ways that I've gotten screwed or, you know, stuff like that. But the topic is basically today I wanted to talk about my mom. So she kind of was the one who got kind of sacrificed to hang behind. Every other brother and sister moved out of the fucking neighborhood, moved out of the borough, moved out. They got married, a lot of them had many kids. But they all, the ones that didn't have kids, at least owned property at some point. They bought houses or did something, you know, concrete, had some foundation, some sort of solid foundation going for them. But my mother was just subsidy queen, take care of nanny, take care of her mother, um, and keep her mother company. And you know, I'm not saying that my mother could have not done that, right? I'm not saying that my mother necessarily had to. It's just like it was probably the incentives were most aligned for her to end up in the situation that she ended up in. You know, maybe she had some sort of fear, like pushed into her about not being able to fucking make it by herself, or you know, I don't know why my mother was kind of scared of driving, um, scared of moving, scared of driving. But I don't know, man. I that's what I say in the realm of empathy and sympathy for that situation. That's not great. You know, I wouldn't want to fucking live that life. So, also being, of course, just like me, being forced to go to public school. She wasn't fucking, she didn't grow up in fucking sweetie pie land. It wasn't fucking nice. Just like it wasn't nice for me. Even if she had gone to fucking Catholic schools or something, those are not, not much of a difference. No, I don't see private schools, Catholic schools, religious schools, or public schools as particularly different. They all have to follow the same curriculum. They all have to pass the SATs. All the kids have to learn the same exact material by the time they graduate. And there's lots of, you could fucking change this about the way things are done in the school and that. But at the end of the day, shit, I hate saying at the end of the day. But it is kind of the case sometimes where it is at the end of the day. But, you know, all the kids need to learn the same exact curriculum. They all have to sit in a classroom. They all have to go to the school whether they want to or not. I'm not saying that it's not cooler or funner or better to go to a private school or something like that. Like, there's probably better food. There's probably, I don't know, fucking, you make better connections with people that have money, you know? You might fucking know a guy, his dad had money and my dad had money, and then I just knew how to invest because of this guy and that guy. Like, stuff like that. So I'm not saying, but anyway, my mom had to go to the public school system. Ew. All right, what else? Also grew up with many brothers and sisters. I can't even imagine. You know, I know that my fucking grandmother wasn't any fucking sweetheart. I know that my grandparents, I know that it wasn't any fucking, they were, you know, my family, my mother didn't grow up in some kind of fucking Brady Bunch situation. It was rougher. Even when I was a kid, the neighborhood was a little bit more fucking, thugged out. Shit was fucking hood, you know, and so I would imagine when she was a kid in the 60s, she grew up through the 60s. She was born in 55, so, you know, it probably wasn't any nicer in the fucking neighborhood. It was probably dangerous. I know kids got shot. There was, you know, Warriors type shit. Anybody ever seen the movie Warriors? You know, fucking gangs of New York type shit. These fucking kids, y'all are from fucking 9th Street? Well, we chill on 3rd Street and dirt. Yo, I'll see you in the park, son. I'll see you in Prospect Park. Motherfuckers got shot. Kids got shot. Kids shot kids. You know, it was a lot it was way more fucking Lord of the Flies type shit going on than fucking current day. Current day, you go to fucking the park. I don't even think you're allowed to legally smoke cigarettes in the park anymore. These motherfuckers done Disneyland the shit out of that neighborhood. So, I blame Giuliani, you know? No, I'm just kidding. It wouldn't have mattered. Somebody would have fucking... That shit would have ended up the same no matter who the fuck would have became mayor of the city or whatever. So, anyway, shit, I'm like really close to the store and I didn't even get... Okay, so that's one angle of sympathy and empathy that I have for my mother. Another angle of sympathy and empathy I have towards my mother, or I would put in the category of sympathy and empathy, is that okay, like 10 years ago, I uploaded a video on this channel, on this YouTube channel, called How I Discovered My Inner Daughter, or something like that, or How I Found My Inner Daughter. And I talked, in that recording, I talked about a dream that I had where I went to my father's house in California and found my quote, daughter, an imaginary daughter, a hypothetical daughter. And this was during a time where I was going to... I was doing therapy sessions once a week, digging into all kinds of stuff in my head, trying to sort it all out. Basically, what I think of as therapy is, you go to therapy, you fucking throw up on the floor of the therapist's office, and if you have a good therapist, he'll help you sort it out, sift through the fucking vomit, and find out what the hell you swallowed that made you sick in the first place, right? That's therapy to me, So, I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, I was doing therapy sessions. I'm not telling people to go to therapy. I'm not telling people that therapy offers something that you can't get without it. I'm not saying it's necessary. I'm not promoting going to therapy. I'm not against it, but I'm just not. I'm just not advocating for that. That's not the point of why I'm bringing this up. The point of why I'm bringing this up is during that time, 10 years ago when I made that video, I was journaling. I don't even like calling it journaling. I was writing down fucking thoughts that were banging around in my head. I was writing down dreams that I had, trying to fucking write down the details or remember as much as I could, just so I could look at it and see what the hell it even is. What was all that? I'm not saying I figured anything out. I'm not saying I'm on another level. All I'm saying is I fucking wrote down some dream shit. Calculated it, kind of was, I guess, weighing it all out in my brain, trying to understand it. So during that time, I recorded that video and spoke about something that was kind of like in my mind, going on in my brain. We can call it imaginary, we could call it fantasy, we could call it fucking whatever. You could probably go as far as to call it dissociation itself. I wouldn't be surprised if even fucking what I was talking about could somehow be fucking it could somehow be argued that that's even dissociation. Who the fuck knows? But as the years went by, like, I didn't follow up on that topic. But as the years went by, I started to get this image in my head of my mother and that daughter, the daughter that I raised, not forcing her to go to school, not forcing her to get her ears pierced, not fucking yelling at her, not hitting her, not fucking exposing her to a lack of fucking resources, like a severe drought of fucking resources in the household, not fucking, like always being fucking on top of shit with her, making sure that she's getting what she needs. And initially it was like my daughter, right? But as the years went by, I had that image of my daughter that I raised in my head, in my imagination, being my mom. And it's almost like I had to fucking raise my own mom, because I'm not saying that my mother was immature. I'm not saying that my mother was, you know, like, what I am saying is that my mother was raised by people in a way that I don't approve of, or it doesn't sit flush with how I would raise a child, or how I would want myself, or how I wanted to be raised. And all I could do is apply that to her. And I feel tears coming up. So the only thing I could do is raise her, raise her the way that I would have wanted to be raised, raise her the way that I would have wanted to raise my kids. And that's all I could do for her. That's all I could do for my mother, is start her off from scratch without the manipulation and the gaslighting and the fucking just the mental retardation. And part of doing that required that I get away from my mother as she stood. Like my actual mother, I had to separate from. And the best way I could explain it is, if I had my mother as a newborn in my arms, and she was 100% my responsibility, then I couldn't expose her to someone like my mother, who my mother turned out to be, and the situation that my mother ended up in. So, like, I have my mother with me more than she's ever been with me. In a lot of ways, my mother was able to be more happy in my own imagination than I could ever make her. There's nothing I could do for her as an adult, as a fully grown adult who's experienced what she's experienced and dealt with the shit, ended up in the circumstances that she ended up in for whatever reason. I'm not saying that she was in the pit of hell being raised in fucking, like covered in flies in Africa, like super malnutritioned or anything like that. I'm not saying that my mother had it worse than me. I'm not saying, I don't mean to be, blowing my mother's life situation out of proportion. But what I'm saying is, that's not the type of life that I would want for my kid. I don't want to be a parent that tells my kid, you got to go to school whether you like it or not. You got to learn the shit that they're telling you, and they're strangers. Us parents, we don't even spend time getting to know these teachers personally, but we're gonna drop you off with them and trust them to fucking quote educate you. And it's not. I'm not trying to say my mother was fucking in the worst situation in the fucking world, but what I'm saying is that it's not a situation I would want my kid to be in. I wouldn't want to fucking send my kid to these places. I don't want to be in those places. Holy shit. Sorry, I got fucking... No, oh, not only are there tears fucking flowing down my face, but now I got fucking beams of sweat coming and coagulating with the fucking tears. And plus, there's a huge group of bubble giggities over there. Are they gonna set it on me? Is this the day where I fucking go to war? What? Should I just give them a heads up? Can you guys see them? I'm kind of scared. That's a substantial size. If they all fucking connected like Voltron, that would be a huge bird. Hey, bubble giggities! Bubble giggities, I'm coming through. No, I don't mean to start any alarm. Okay? Alright, thank you. Have a good day. Looking good. Looking good, you guys. So, hey, what are those? Duckies? Hey, I think they are ducks. Yeah, those are ducks. Pretty sure. Anyway, so I got exactly to the point of what I wanted to. I really did hit home on what I wanted to get to point of what I wanted to get to in this recording. So that's good. So my mother is in a way, my mother's been on my side for the past 10 years. My mother's been in my corner. I raised her, and she fucking appreciates me for having raised her. And she could see what I'm talking about. She could understand, because now she's been in a situation where, in my head, where I simulated basically a situation where she was raised by someone who didn't send her to school, who didn't deprive her of fucking like resources, put her in a situation where it's like a welfare situation. Force them to go to fucking some fucking weird camps in the summertime and just whack shit, yo. I've experienced it all, so I know how whack it be. And your parents aren't fucking raising you to be nothing. Your parents aren't raising you to be a goddamn CEO. They're not raising you to be shit. They don't give a fuck. They're raising you to just be a fucking... They raised her to just be a nurse that stays behind and fucking keeps my grandmother company. And, I think of like pictures. I've seen pictures of my mother when she was a little girl, and that's who's with me. That's who I got, and I think that person would have, that the mother that I raised in my head would appreciate that I kept her away from the mother that she would have became. Or she did become, rather. Like, she understands exactly what I was doing. She understands everything that I mean about, she's totally on board with me on fucking almost everything, the way that I experience things, the way I see things. She's always got my back. And even times where, there are times where she fucking tells me that I'm wrong about something, and she's right. This mother of mine that I raised will give me a heads up about something, give me some sort of perspective that I normally on my own wouldn't have. And I'll be like, oh shit, I'm retarded. You're right. You know? Um, like she's like the daughter slash mother that, keeps an eye out for her dad or whatever. Doesn't want her dad ending up getting fucking fucked over by anybody. Because dad never fucked her over, right? So, my mother's on my side, and also I think of, I don't think that there's any conscious thought, coming out of my dead mother. My mother's not out there in the afterlife. She's not in the heaven. She's not in the hell. She's not in the purgatory, right? Her brain's fucking turned off. That computer is just not on right now. But I think if she was, when I think of if she was in an afterlife or something, and she was able to look down and use concepts and think and say, identify me and say, oh, that was my son Stephen, she would say, oh, I see what you're talking about now. I see it. And I see exactly why you needed to fucking get away from me. That was the best fucking possible thing. That's the best possible choice you could have made. And fucking, I'm even here with you from beyond the grave. More now than I've ever been. More now than I've ever been in my waking life. I see what the fuck you're talking about. And I could see how frustrating it was to try to fucking get across your points to me in my waking life. I could see so clearly now. And all I could say is it's nice to have you on board. It's nice to have you on board finally. And so she's with me, and that's the best possible outcome that's the best outcome I could think of for her, for me. And okay, I'm almost at the store. What are some closing comments I could make? Yeah, there might be some other ideas I might have been able to squeeze into this recording, but I think I hit nail on the head or whatever. And let's see. What else could be said? My mother is. Oh yeah, that's okay. So the only thing I wanted to add was just those are the things that come to mind when I think of sympathy / empathy, and that's the best I could do. That's all. That's what, the best my brain was able to adjust to my situation. And I'm not saying I did it all. I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if there's a right way to do things. I'm not saying anybody should do what I do, but I'm just saying it's just my experience, and there's so many details that I've obviously not been able to put in. There's only so much that I could talk about in a small amount of time, but it's Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. And, another week, another walk of Operation Muffin Top. I'm getting there. I'm getting somewhere. All right. Till next week, probably. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this topic next week, but next week, holla.